Final high school update for you of the 2026 spring season or the 2025-2026 calendar year. And we end it with high school baseball. We've had some fun games in the championships over the weekend. And we start with the Open Division where Patrick Henry was able to knock off Eastlake after beating Cathedral Catholic twice in the semifinals. Eastlake got put to 2 games as well. They were able to overcome Point Loma to get to that point, but it's the 4 seed Patrick Henry the 5 seed Patrick Henry Patriots that get the job done over Eastlake. Still a really great performance out of Patrick Henry. But overall, what a fun season it was in high school baseball. Patrick Henry is the best team right now in San Diego.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great run of play as well, coming through as the number 5 seed, beating Rancho Bernardo, and then beating Cathedral in the second round, coming back through beating Rancho Bernardo again, 8-0, and then going out and beating Cathedral Catholic once again, uh, to get to play Eastlake in the championship final. So a very, very good run, and congratulations to Patrick Henry for winning the CIF Open Championship.
Madison wins Division One over Mount Carmel. In Division Two, it was Helix over Christian over the weekend. In Division Three, this was a fun bracket. La Jolla tried to make a run at the longest travel you would ever need in a high school baseball tournament, having to play at Vista, having to go to Blythe, having to go back to Blythe, having to go to Ramona. They forced a final game winner take all against the Ramona Bulldogs. Just ran out of gas. Ramona made it to the championship to play Westview, and it was the Westview Wolverines that ended up winning Division 3. In Division 4, it was Francis Parker knocking off Foothills Christian. In Division 5, Coastal Academy won the championship over Canyon Hills. And in Division 5 AA, it was Borrego Springs getting the victory over Calvin Christian. So those are the winners for the CIF baseball championship. So you'll start seeing those show up on a banner at Petco Park soon, which I think is really cool.
Yes, that's
that
awesome.
The Padres do that. They hang all the helmets up from the baseball and softball schools here in town. But final baseball poll in the Union-Tribune, Patrick Henry got all first place votes as the number 1 team. Eastlake, number 2. Cathedral, number 3. Point Loma, 4. Madison, 5. San Marcos, 6. Granite Hills, 7. Rancho Bernardo, 8. Westview, 9. Helix, 10. I have a vote in this. I don't understand, and here's kind of like the question of like the high school sports, and I just don't get and how anybody would vote against. At the end of the year, the best teams like make the Open, and then it works its way down.
Mm-hmm.
So like the best 8 teams are in the Open, which means if you win Division 1, you're like the 9th best team at best. So when you fill out your bracket, your end of the year rankings, why would you ever rank a Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, whatever opponent over any of the 8 teams that made the Open? Yeah, I know you won Division 1, but you weren't good enough to be in the top 8, and all of a sudden you win D1, so therefore you're better than the teams that lost in the Open. I have never understood that logic. I see it every single year at the end of the season. To me, when I fill out the top 10, you already knew the top 8 teams. It's just how they just played all each other. Yeah. You don't need to know how they would do head to head. They just did it. So I don't understand that. I've never understood that. I know it's like kind of taboo to mention the fact that if you don't win the Open, like it's all ranked, right? So if you win the Open, you're the best team in the county. If you win Division 1, you're not the second best team in the county. You're the 9th best team in the county. And then if you win Division 2, it's down the list. Like, I don't want to take away from, the kids winning a championship against teams like in their division. I think that's cool. I think it gives an opportunity to win more championships for schools that, based on enrollment would never have a chance. But it's when they start talking about like, oh, we're the 3rd best team in the county because we're Division 3. No, that's not how this works.
No, it's not. I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe your Division 1 champion, depending upon how badly they beat everyone else through the tournament, possibly getting up to number 6, maybe at the max. But yeah, no, that's unfortunately it's wishful thinking for sure.
Right.
It's just not how it works.
That's like anybody that, because we got the San Diego State Passing League tournament coming up, and they usually have like multiple brackets, right? They have the
Mhm.
open, they have the number one bracket, the number two brackets, like double limb. But if you win the losers bracket and it doesn't go to the other side, you don't come in second. You
No.
come in like however many teams made it to the winning side, you're the next best team there. So you really place like maybe 17th at best. Like you're playing for 17th place. That's why I firmly believe, and we have to change the mindset for a lot of people. I firmly believe that you should hang a banner at your school for making the open in your sport, because to me, that's winning a D1 championship, because you're better than whoever comes out of D1 anyway. And if you would have played them, you probably would have won a championship. I think there needs to be more incentive for teams that want to be in the open, because there's too many tweeners that try to play their way into D1 to say they won a championship. And until people start enforcing the fact that you're in ninth place, I don't think that's ever going to change.
No, I don't think so either. Unfortunately, again, it's a nice mindset to have. It's a nice thought,
Yeah.
but it just no, that's not the way it works.
Winning the hypotheticals,
Yeah.
if you will. But
Mhm.
anyway, that's the latest.
SEC's undefeated in that.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the hypothetical wins that that the SEC teams like to herald. But if it again, it's based on how good you are. That's the seedings you have. I think you should be always trying to get to the higher bracket.
Mhm.
And I think losing in a higher bracket is better than winning in a lower bracket. That's just my philosophy. I know people disagree with me on that, but I'd rather be in the open than win Division One more times than not. But anyway, that's the top 10. It's the finish of the high school season. The next time we'll do a high school update, we'll be talking about high school football.